Alright everybody, how's it going tonight? So tonight, welcome to the paint panel, guys. We're gonna try this a little different tonight. Hey Spartan, how we doing?
Burn the witch!
What's up, Witchy? How you doing? So tonight we have Ubnoxious and Susie QQ. I think they're trying to get their audio up and running. Because I don't hear them.
Hello.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Sorry. She's yelling at me because I was in studio mode on accident.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
go to your live panel so you don't use up your CPU. Left.
Hi. Yeah, I'm terrible at this game.
So, welcome you two. So, this is going to be the first time we've had two people on the panel at once, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Lana.
That sounds about right.
Um,
Of course, we get to be the guinea pigs, huh?
you get to be the guinea pigs. We're going to try the panel a little bit differently this time. So, hey to everybody in chat. Clover, Spartan, Pumpkin Pie, Tigress, Witchy, Silk, Oogly, Husky. Hey everybody. Got a bunch of hosts out there. So, what we're doing is the front end of the paint panel I'm going to try and record. So we can put these out there, because what I want to do is get to know and let you guys get to know some of the creative folks that get to join us on the panel. So usually, this will be interesting for us, because usually Susie QQ is playing some games, and she is sporting a Slave Leia apron.
Yeah, it's my apron that I got from my dad for
Nice.
Christmas, but she wears it. It looks
Nice.
better on her. Right?
Apparently, I'm a booby streamer now.
Yeah, apparently.
Very much so. So we're gonna have Susie QQ and Obnoxious, or Hubby QQ. You guys can call him Hubby QQ.
Yes, you can.
So Obnoxious does a lot of fabrication with Nerf guns and fabrications from scratch to make cosplay guns and replicas of in-game items, stuff like that. So it's really cool. He's working on something special for us for the cosplay that you all triggered for our 1-year celebration. So what we're gonna do is ask Susie QQ and Obnoxious a couple of questions for from the creative side of things, and let them try and answer them. So once we're done with the interview and once we're done chit-chatting, we're going to go back to more of a like a multi-stream, back to normal, where Obnoxious will be working on his fabrications, I'll be doing my painting. So a little bit different this time, a little bit longer of an intro. If you guys have not followed Susie QQ or Obnoxious yet, you should. They're really good friends of mine. Suze is super supportive to just about anybody she comes in contact with. So I'm still trying to recover from watching the playback, by the way.
Right? Right? That was nuts.
I'm still not recovered from this morning.
So if we could go ahead and get shout outs for these two wonderful people. And
Oh, thank you.
while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and ask Susie first.
Uh-oh.
Susan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, right? You have done some digital stuff. You've mostly played games, right? I love watching Mercy Monday if I end my stream early. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself while Sub-Zero is hogging the camera?
Well, I am a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom, actually. I haven't been streaming that long. I started back in March, playing mostly video games, but I also, every now and then I do graphics work. I work on stream packages and stuff like that on stream. I'm working on a Fallout one that I'm still not done with.
If you want to see a really cool one, you should head over to twitch.tv/obnoxious. Within you.
So we got a couple of people in chat saying hey over to you as well. You got Pumpkin waving at you, and Big Gun saying hey Big Gun.
Hello.
So we're gonna get to see some of your friends coming over to chat and hanging out and saying hello, it seems like, which is exciting. I'm happy to have your community come in because you guys are all going to get to ask questions in chat too. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Ubnoxious, why don't you fill us in about yourself? Because you are an even newer streamer than the Suez.
I think this is my 11th total stream ever. And I think 4 of them were testing Susie's setup, just so she didn't go live on her own, and then she just used mine. And then it was, I think it was you, Susie, and Velly were like, "Hey, you're making some cool stuff over there with Nerf guns. You should do it on stream." So I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." But no, by day I am a crime-fighting, Sub-Zero mask-wearing guy. No, I work with fuels, at mainly an electrician type work. But at night I get to be the geeky kid that I always wanted to be and take Nerf guns and make them cooler, in my opinion.
Well, we're hoping to have the coolest of the cool in a few weeks, right?
Well, like I told you, which also, thank you, Gamer Dad, for the mask, for the Sub-Zero mask. It was you that got it for me. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
I came downstairs, I think, yesterday, and I saw this package sitting down on my desk, and I'm like, I don't remember ordering anything off of Amazon.
Yeah. So one guy just said on stream that another guy's package was sitting on his desk when he came home from work.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what just happened. My package was on your desk when you got home from work.
Yes. Yes.
Technically, I delivered his package.
Yes, my wife delivered Gamer Dad's package to my desk.
All sorts of weird, guys. We made it all sorts of weird.
So yeah, then I was trying to think, well, did I do a bunch of drinking over the weekend and buy something on accident? And then no. And then Susie came in and said, "Oh, Gamer Dad got that for you." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was freaking awesome. And of course, I wore it pretty much all last night, pretending to be Sub-Zero, because I'm a nerd like that.
Absolutely.
So the backstory there, I got to watch some of the playback of your VOD. I was hanging out in your stream Sunday night, something like that. After I finished my stream the other night, I was hanging out with you, and then I watched some of the playback, I guess on Monday, and saw that you were working with there's a lot of dust, all that milliput and everything. So I'm like, I've got a mask I should be wearing when I airbrush. I'm like, he needs one. I heard them all yelling at him, so the super secret of Susie helped me out, and so now you are safer, guys.
She is pretty good at that. We have a big baby QQ coming down here to say something. I think she may have a little bit of a tummy ache. But yeah, no, I got a dust mask from Wally World that I just never wear because I'm one of those people. But I mean, if somebody's gonna buy me something to keep me safe, of course I'm gonna wear it. You know, because you guys are all looking out for me, so I might as well do it. But yeah, no, because of this, I'm like, well, okay, what can I do to make this blaster even better, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna try, and probably won't get to it tonight, but I bought a big thing of Elmer's wood putty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I pat it because I also do some carpentry on the side as well. But I was thinking about using that putty on top of this blaster and then using my sculpting tools to put in a wood grain, because that putty you can sand and stain and would look like real wood. So if you look at Mal's gun, he has got, I think they're cherry handles, or cherry grips, cherry stained grips.
Some wooden grip, yeah.
Yeah, and so I am gonna try and give you an actual cherry stained looking wood grip with that.
That's awesome.
Instead of just a painted cherry color. So it'll be I'll put like polyurethane over top of it to give it a nice good shine as well.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys. So if you're trying to keep up, we accomplished the goal, and we're gonna cosplay. We're gonna have 2 cosplays for the anniversary stream, and one of them is gonna be Mal from Firefly. We're gonna be Malcolm Reynolds, and so I'm gonna go figure out the costume now, and Ubnoxious is working on our fabrication from a Nerf gun, which there's the start of it. I saw a picture of it. I'm like, oh my god, this thing's gonna be a perfect setup. So it is on its way to being worked on. So while Suze is away, we'll go ahead and ask you some questions. So you've
Yeah.
done just a handful of streams.
Yes.
From the creative side, how have you liked being in kind of just doing the fabrication thing? Because it's a bit more unique. I haven't seen a whole lot of. I've seen carpenters, I've seen leather workers, I've seen cosplay, just streamers doing some fabrication, but mostly like the clothing. Well, how have you liked doing more like the Nerf guns and from scratch builds?
Well, I mean, they're awesome. You know, it really gives me the creative freedom, you know, to an extent that, you know, because I take pre-made weapons that I'm trying to mimic with video games or movie characters that I like a lot. But I kind of take my own way to express it. Like what really got me like to make my Deadpool one, right, is Deadpool's my favorite Marvel character of all time. Well, he's tied top 3, but Nerf came out with Marvel to do a Deadpool rival Chronos, and when they released it, the red color was wrong. It was more of like a candy red instead of a crimson, and his actual color is Chinese crimson red, right? So it's a special type of dark red, and I just hated how they did it, and they made it look too stupid. So I bought my own Chronos and I did it myself, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, and then that's when Susie and everybody else like, hey, you should put that on stream. Nobody else is doing anything with Nerf weapons. And then the fabrication just kind of came with it when I'm like, I want to turn that into a combat shotgun, or I want to turn that into an assault rifle looking thing with a chainsaw on it, and they don't have anything like that, so I got to make it. And I'm kind of just winging it at this point. I mean, I do watch videos on YouTube and whatnot, but kind of just go, well, I think I can use JB Weld here, and it'll hold it pretty well, and I can form it in, and then it'll also give me a good like crusty, rusted look on the edges that I can really get some orange deep down in it, and then build on top of it. So I kind of just go with the flow. If I don't like it, I go get a new blaster and I start over.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, garage sales, you can find Nerf guns sometimes a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I was just looking at one today, and
it wasn't a dime a dozen though, guys.
It was they wanted $300 or best offer, but I think it came out to 32 different blasters, so less than $10 a blaster.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money, but it's also a lot of projects.
I don't know what's the bigger stress thing there, the lot of money or the lot of projects.
Yeah.
You can see boxes behind me. So these are projects behind me. The boxes. There's some here and there's some back here. So it's it gets a little crazy. So Suze, now that you're back, from the creative side of things, now I think you've only done like 1 or 2 creative streams, but you've been working on what I think is one of the coolest overlay setups I've seen in a long time.
It looks really good, and I'm really impressed with myself.
So why don't you give everybody a rundown of the 2 different themes that you have you've worked on?
Well, actually, 3, because I did Ubnoxious'. I did his whole stream.
Fair enough.
Package. Yeah. He's got the Nerf gun with the clip in it on his overlay, and then my ongoing project that I'm working on is a Fallout stream package to kind of celebrate 76 coming out. And it's got a Pip-Boy display on it, and it's got the little chat thing. It pulls in the feel from the early Fallout games and kind of mixes it with the newer Fallout games. So I'm really liking that one. And then I did my own streaming package, which...
The murder board.
My murder board, yeah. It's my personality 100%. You know, I've got scrap pieces of paper on my overlay and in my panels, and
I mean, it's really cool. If I remember correctly, your camera, so your face cam for gaming it looks like a Polaroid, right? It's in a Polaroid.
Yes.
Is that right? And then you've got behind you, it looks like a cork bulletin board with post-it notes, right?
Yeah, Giant pieces of cardboard duct taped together.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, I thought that it was you actually did all this work and made it look like you were in like a police department investigation room. That's how legit it looked to me. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And so make sure you guys go over to Susie's channel and check it out. She mostly games, but her games are fun because it's normally her community in those games, right?
Yes. I play games with my community quite often.
And then we're gonna have a nice little Fallout set up for when 76 goes to beta, right? Is that gonna be ready on time?
Yes.
Maybe.
No
Depends
pressure.
How much time I let her have to herself. Because usually I'm down there sitting in the other chair. Because now that she's got the entire office, I mean,
Yeah.
Because when we first moved in, the first thing I did was I built a 2-person desk so for us to game together. If anybody's been over there, which I know you have, been over when we were both playing games together, we'd be sitting right next to each other. Plenty of room for both the PCs. We had 4 total monitors up, 2 full towers sitting on top. It's a huge desk.
It's like a 13-foot desk.
Yeah, it's about 13 feet tall or 13 feet long. And now she's got that entire thing. And she kicked me over here into the unfinished basement.
I didn't kick you over here.
She did. She kicked me out over here. Don't let her fool you. She kicked me out
You
over here.
you like your workshop and you know it.
Shh. Shh. Don't listen to him, honey. He's full of it.
So I'm gonna put Susie on the spot again for another second. When it comes to gaming and it comes to creative, because you've done a little bit of both, what do you like about streaming in the creative space?
A lot of really cool people come in for creative versus gaming. I mean, guys, you're still cool if you come in for gaming. But the people that come in for creative, they actually want to sit and they want to talk to you about what you're doing and how maybe they do it. And I really enjoyed that. Anytime I did a stream where I was trying to make stream avatars. I've never done any 8-bit work before.
Mhm.
So I was just screwing around, and I had people just like constantly coming in. They wouldn't stay long, but they'd sit and they'd talk for a little bit and then leave. But they're engaging. And more often than not, I don't get a lot of new people coming in my stream for games that are as engaging as creative people. So it's fun.
Yeah, I've always found creative to be more collaborative.
Yes.
You rarely run into the troll in the creative space that like will get mad at you for not doing it the right way.
Yes.
Because the great thing about creative, whether you're doing fiber arts, painting, fabrication, cooking, there is absolutely no one single way to do whatever it is you're doing. Like if I had that Nerf gun, there's tons of things I would have never thought to cut off the handle. I would have never wanted to use milliput. I would have filled it in with some plastic putty, smoothed everything out. But I'm not going to get the detail that I know Ubnoxious is going to be able to pull out with all of the sculpting that he's doing. Plus, he's done it a little bit longer than I have because I've done it never. So you get to learn so much. You can learn in the gaming side too, but it feels more like the gaming community is out there to put a game out for you to watch and enjoy watching them play. But you can't always say, well, this is how I did that level, because most of the time there's a limited number of ways to solve a game. In an open world like Fallout or maybe even some of the other story games like Bloodborne, you can do things differently, but you're kind of stuck with limited options in the game. So what we're going to do a little bit further, if anybody here has any questions to ask Susie QQ or Ubnoxious, throw them out there, throw them in the chat. We'll let you guys go ahead and give us a few, and then when we're done with all the questions, we're going to move back over to a multi-stream format. And Ubnoxious, I think you're going to be working on your normal stream, so doing some fabrication tonight while we hang out, right?
Yep. I'll actually be I'll be painting her props up, or getting them primed up so she can start painting her little mini props.
It's only one. Don't let him.
Okay, well, it's one. But yeah. So yeah, then we'll be like I said, then we'll be starting to work on your stuff, doing a lot more sanding and grinding and fun stuff. Fun.
So Witchy wants to know why you guys are so cute.
Well, I mean, just look at me.
Look at
Look at
him.
me. I'm just so cute, and the cuteness just flows over to her.
I'm only cute by proxy.
Yeah.
Cute by okay. All right. What about
Can't
what
believe
about
you went
the
with
what about the rest of the
that. Hey,
chat?
Richie.
Witchy's trying to open it. Y'all's are adorable, she says.
Love you, Witchy.
I was able to, because like my PC is not super great, so but I did get the chat to pop out. So awesome.
Yeah.
So now I can read.
So, question for everybody: what's your favorite and least favorite colors to paint with?
I hate pink.
Let me see.
And well, I would guess that Deadpool red would be your favorite, though, right, Suze?
I do love red.
She does love red.
But purple is probably my favorite.
I like painting in
Cute.
purple. I would say which I use it all the time, but I hate it so much, is gunmetal. Because there are so many different shades of gunmetal. You got gunmetal gray, gunmetal black, you got shiny, you got dulled, and then you start mixing in like oily steel and natural steel. It just, any kind of silver metal leaning more towards gunmetal, I hate it because it can be such a pain in the butt, but it does end up looking pretty good.
Okay. And what about your favorite?
Favorite? Does black primer count? No.
Matte black everything.
I have a bottle of flat black right here, Suze. It's a thing.
I would put matte black on everything.
I do like matte black a lot. No, I would have to say my newest favorite one that I like messing around with is I just got it, Dryad Bark from Citadel.
Oh, I love that color.
I do too. I just got it. It's really good. You can use it in woods. You can use it in reds. You can use it in brown, earth tones. And I really like it. It's really good at mixing it. I make my own washes because like, for me to go out and buy something like this, right? Like your Nuln oil. I think this is what, like 12 something.
Yeah, they're like $8 pots. Yeah, they're super expensive.
But yeah, I'd use like half of one on a large Nerf blaster. So it's just not cost effective. So I just make my own washes with my own inks.
We're gonna talk on how you can take advantage of those, because there's a couple of bottles of some good mediums here that you can get from the craft store that really help you out. I don't know what medium you use to make your washes, but
well, I'm gonna be trying the Liquitex Flow Aid with the matte medium. That'll be my next try. But right now, I'm just going old school because my stuff is so big that you can get away with some of the mistakes a little easier than you do when you're dealing with your miniatures, right? So I just go with old school. I do Floor Pledge gloss, with the acrylic floor gloss, and distilled water, 4-to-1 for water to pledge.
There you go.
And then ink.
When you go to use Flow Aid, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that's got a retarder medium in it, so an anti-drying agent.
Yep.
So that's gonna
let it sit a lot longer.
Yeah, but it comes out amazing.
Oh, I know. I love that stuff. I just super expensive. I did just get some Vallejo Flow Improver finally today. So I'm gonna be using that tonight, giving that a whirl.
So Pumpkin, just to answer your question myself, one of my favorite colors to paint with is black metal. So it's a darker metallic. But it's from the Scale 75 line. I've been having a lot of issues painting metallics until I found this thing. It's a fantastic color. And then my least liked color, I'm probably going to have to go with something in the green line right now, because I just painted close to 150 minis since November, and they all had some aspect of green on them. So I'm a little tired of it. No offense to people who like painting green. I think I lost your audio there.
You did. I had a party of 7 raid, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome everybody raiding in, if they can hear my voice too.
Yep. And so now that everybody can hear you, I did say hello to them. Make sure you guys check out Gamer Dad. Right now we're doing a little panel thing. People are asking questions. So pull both streams up. Take a look at both of our pretty faces. So if you notice on my stream, there's something missing, like right here. That's this beautiful face. So head over there so you can take a look at me and him.
Yeah. So we're Well, and for those coming in on that raid, and for those coming in on my stream, a little late into the interview, we're trying the paint panel differently this time. So this is going to be the first time that we've done it this way. We're going to export the front end of this video and try and put it up on YouTube and just share it out there. So what a lot of people, I guess we should point out, because one of the things that I've started to notice, there's a lot of dads that are coming into my chat. Ubnoxious is another gamer dad. So, some would say the DM of gamer dads.
The DM, the dungeon master.
Because on Friday nights you use the master of dungeons. On Friday nights, Ubnoxious DMs on Susie's channel and does which story are you guys doing?
This one is called Cell Swords.
Cell Swords.
It's a very low magic fantasy world for now.
It's a
For-
homebrew.
Maybe.
Homebrew? Okay, awesome. So certainly make sure you guys do check them out as you're coming into the channel live, and then I'll have a link to both Susie's channel and Ubnoxious' channel in the YouTube description. So I don't know if we have any other questions in chat. Oh, if Dark Lore is asking an interesting question that I got asked the other night. I don't know if we're going to do the second part of this question, but if you had 3 streamers you could take to a desert island, who would they be?
Like 3 other than myself? Or
Yes.
3 including myself?
3 other than yourself.
Well, what if I only like 3 other streamers? Does that count?
You can pick just the 3 you like. You can pick less than 3 if you don't like them all. There's a reason. I will tell you after you answer. I will tell you why the number 3 is important for this one. Susie's
Okay.
grinning, so she might know where this goes.
Well, of course I'm gonna take my wife, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna take my wife. Can I cheat and take all of Dynasty Gaming? Because they all stream on it. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay. Well, so I'd say the 2 that I watch most and my 2 favorites I've learned the most from would be my wife and you, and then it's a real tie on the last one. I'll let Susie answer hers first, and then I'll come back for my third one.
Sure.
I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids. I'd just take my husband. That's it.
So the reason Dark Lore asked this question in chat is because when they asked me this question, I went an entire an hour through an interview session. They opened with that, and then they closed with, out of the 3 streamers you picked, have you heard of the game MFK? You gotta marry, you gotta kill one, and then you can figure out the F. Yeah, we're gonna keep it dad friendly.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Still gonna kill you.
well, my third one was gonna be Veli, so now I gotta choose. Am I gonna marry? Am I gonna marry?
You're gonna marry Dad.
Am I gonna marry Dad, or am I gonna marry?
Love me. And...
Oh, that's for sure happening. But do I kill you or do I kill Veli? Veli is way too hyped for being on an island alone, stranded. I think I'm gonna kill Veli and I'll marry you.
Well, there you go. And we can fill in the obvious gap.
Hey, Max Payne, welcome to the stream. And I did miss a follow. Hail Mara 67. Hey guys, just so you know, I am over on GamerDad's channel right now. That's why I'm missing the face here. I will try to answer the questions or anything that you guys say in my chat, but I'm also trying not to ruin his thing, so I'll shut up.
And we're gonna give you back Obnoxious's face in just a little bit. What we're doing, just as a reminder to everybody, is kind of giving a chance to let the communities meet each other and get a little bit of visibility out there. Let everybody meet Ubnoxious and Susie QQ. What we're going to do going forward, I think we're about done here, Ubnoxious. I don't see any new questions. But what we're going to do going forward is I'd like to start bringing new creative streamers into the channel and do kind of this to let everybody get to know them. Previously, I've been doing just multi-streams on the paint panel where there'll be another creative streamer hanging out. But what I want to do is open that up and help to kind of bring visibility to creative. So Ubnoxious, it just got affiliate. Have you had any subs yet?
Actually, yeah, I was gonna call them out right now. My buddy Crumb, also my boss, also a good friend. Crumb, Mr. Derek, he was the first one to sub to me, and of course he did it offline. So here you go. Thank you, buddy. I got something special for you on my stream. And of course, the second one was my beautiful wife, who hit me up for a sub about 2 minutes ago. And when she came in here, I gave her her own special thank you.
Oh, well, isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm.
What-
It's just smacking the butt.
Yeah, well, there you go. So one last question before we switch this back over to the multi-stream. If you guys could meet your followers or subs, who would you want to see the most? I can guess one for Suze.
Belly.
Exactly.
Who,
All of you, but Belly. You might be one.
who would I want to meet? I mean, I don't like anybody, so I mean,
That's from Big Gun, by the way. That's the question from Big Gun. Wants to
Definitely
know
Big Gun.
who of your followers or subs you'd like to meet the most.
I guess it depends. Who lives closest to a beach?
Me? I'm about 2.5 hours away. Unless Big Gun's... No, Big Gun's right on the West Coast, I
Yeah,
think.
he's San Diego.
Well, then you just definitely need
I
to...
think I'm going to San Diego.
Yeah, you are.
Go for sure. Gonna go see Big Guy.
So, I think there's too many followers. I would probably have to pick somebody up in Michigan because there's like a collective of them all in one spot,
Yeah.
right? Witchy, Silent Ghost. Apparently, Miss Manatee is very close to them. A really good friend of mine now. I mean, this friendship's grown really quick with Britt Wolf. Just really, really cool groups up there. So I would have to kind of pick there because that's the most concentrated. It's a loophole, right? I'll pick one of them and I'll get to meet all of them in a small little location. So,
Yeah.
I think we got one more question here. If Obnoxious, if you could try one thing out of the ordinary on your stream, what would it be?
And I just posted my own question back to him. If he could be just a tad bit more
Mhm.
specific, I guess because what I do already is fairly out of the ordinary. So I guess like the most out of ordinary thing I would do would be play a game. But out of the ordinary, do you mean like Nerf wise or?
Well, just in case he doesn't answer, let's go with like the most unique or most out of the ordinary
Okay.
kind of fabrication, right? Like what kind of replica item would really
Yes.
be interesting to you?
I have in my mind. Well, I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen the pictures of it. I don't know the inner workings of it, but I think it's Captain Xavier on YouTube. He took a not Punisher. It's a Air Props Punisher. I think is what I think it's called. These either Air Darts, Air Zone. I think Air Zone Punisher. It looks like a minigun. I mean, it is a minigun. He turned it into a working minigun with a backpack, belt fed, to shoot the rival balls, which are the little foam balls. And I want to mimic that, but I want to do it better.
Okay, that would be a
So
huge
I think
project.
that is probably that's a big project because there's a lot of wiring. I mean, he's got one, two. I think he's got three 3S lipos inside of it, and it's pushing close to I think it's like 12 volts to get this thing going. And he can get the barrel to spin without firing, and it's all belt driven. And I think it shoots 200 rounds per minute. 200 rounds per minute. It has a 2,000 round capacity with the backpack, and it shoots at about 95 feet per second. And I'm thinking I can get that up I think I can get that up to 110, 115 feet per second. And I'm gonna try to do 300 rounds per second.
Challenge accepted, I guess.
Challenge accepted. It is going to take some money. It's going to take a lot of time. It's definitely one of those projects that I'll start on it, put it away for a little bit, bring it back. Because there's going to be a lot of electronics to go.
So, Voodoo did go ahead and clarify a little bit more. So I'll read off his clarification. We'll get a quick answer there, and then Knight dropped in with a really quick question. We'll ask those two. We'll get quick answers from you guys. We'll wrap up, and then we'll bring us back over to the multi and close out of the formal panel. So to clarify what Voodoo is looking for, something ordinary, out of the ordinary in your stream, like multi-stream with a famous person, live Nerf war, something like just a unique event or activity.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you guys, well, you guys, some of you guys were there on Saturday, I think, Saturday night when Dad raided me. But the wife and I had a little mini one where we shot at each other a bunch, a little mini Nerf war. But she thinks it's funny. I think the coolest thing I would like to do is a big YouTuber fan that I like is Bill Duran from Punish Props. I would love to do a stream with him or a YouTube video with him. Dude is awesome. Stuff he makes is amazing, and he does it. And he's like, hey, here's how I do it, and he uses a lot of the stuff that I can get. You see some of the guys out there, they're using the full body acrylics from Liquitex. It's like $8 for a bottle this big, and they're making huge props out of these. And
Sure.
But he shows you how to do it with not cheap stuff, but with your average decent painter stuff.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I would for sure be with him.
Well, we'll have to try and see if we can get the interwebs to get that message out.
Hell yeah.
And then the last question here, for Nerf rival guns, as far as batteries go, would you recommend converting to a lithium rechargeable battery pack? If so, which one?
I guess it depends on what you are going to do with the flywheels and the motors inside of the rivals. If you are going to upgrade the motors inside, you're going to want to upgrade them to at least a 3S motor. I recommend the Rhino motors. I think they're $489 a motor. And then you're going to want to get a 3S LiPo to go with it. And then the great thing about the 3S with LiPo and rewiring them is that you don't have to carry that large battery pack from the rivals. You can just swap that out, plug it in, you're good to go. And the 3S LiPos, you get like a 4,500 milliamp. It lasts forever.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the kind of the interview part of the paint panel. Thanks everybody for tuning in, checking it out, getting to meet Suze and Ubnoxious. Again, make sure you give them a follow. Check them out. We're going to go ahead and give Ubnoxious back his face camera and put it back on his stream. And then if somebody goes ahead and runs that multi-command, it'll pop right on up. There we go. So thank you, everybody. Give me just a second here to close out of the cast. We'll switch over to the regular overlay, and we're going to be painting up some terrain while we're chatting with those two wonderful people right there.